Tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications and sip my tea till it is all done. I think it's all fun. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.
Mr. Young and Foreign.
Kick to the gut! Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut. Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Hey, kick to the gut.
Kick to the gut.
Kick to the Gut podcast.
Kick to the gut podcast.
Kick to the gut.
Your podcast sucks!
Yo, what's up? It's that time of the week for your weekly dose of getting kicked in the gut. What's up? It's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Bro, we've got a crazy ton of things to talk about, man.
Oh, yes. Not only do we have NXT stuff, which is getting super, super exciting as we head towards WrestleMania season, interestingly enough. Also, talking about the road to WrestleMania, the most dangerous stop, as they like to say before WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber. We want to talk about that. A bit of AEW shenanigans. Oh my God, not a bit, a lot of AEW shenanigans.
Okay, but before we start on anything, bro, I need to get this out of the way because I've just been so hyped this whole morning. And I think you know why. Because you posted the same thing as me.
Did I? Oh, you mean the Mortal Kombat? Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, indeed, my brother.
But that has nothing to do with pro wrestling.
No, it has everything to do with pro wrestling, bro.
How?
If you are a 90s kid, you grew up on Sega Genesis. You stayed up all night. You only stayed up all night for two things. It's either Attitude Era, or so you can sneak and play Mortal Kombat without your parents knowing.
Did you have the blood code for the game or not?
Oh, you know what I used to do, bro? I used to write down all the combinations on a piece of paper and have a cheat sheet. I think most kids used to do that.
That's right. The fatalities before you could just pull it up on your phone or on your monitor or anything like that. Huh? Yeah. I know the trailer is super exciting. I know we just kind of stepped into pop culture here for a second, but you know, pop culture and pro wrestling, a lot in common. In fact, a lot of gamers are pro wrestlers and vice versa. Yeah,
and you know the best part was I was looking through Twitter and all the reactions towards the video, right? A lot of wrestlers also were reacting to the trailer release.
Oh yeah?
Karrion Kross posted a tweet. Apparently Cody Rhodes is a big fan as well. I mean, we can see a lot of the crossover. You can see a lot of the for example, the female superstars doing a lot of cosplays.
Oh yes.
Selena Vega.
Well, I mean, she no longer is a superstar, but that's a different story altogether. I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of crossover, right? You know, it's kind of like pro wrestling is that violent aspect. There's a lot of fantasy booking and storylines and stuff like that. So it makes sense that pro wrestlers are also video game fans.
Yes, indeed. And the best part is I love every time there is always a pop culture bleed into the mainstream. For example, Mortal Kombat used to be this dirty little secret. A lot of the mainstream people don't want to touch it. Hey, alamak, too violent. And then now it's kind of part of game culture, part of popular culture.
Exactly.
So, same thing. Every time wrestling makes a kind of return to pop culture, return to some sort of relevance, it's always because of little things like this.
Talking about pro wrestling, let's dive into things right now. Where do we want to start? Okay, because at some point, and thank you very much for your submissions on our Insta stories. If you're in the chat, by the way, come by and say hi. We would love to, hang out right now. And of course, at any point, feel free to weigh in on what we're talking about, especially our topic for today, which later on will be about your favorite cage stipulations. And okay, not just your favorite. I want to talk about the best and the worst cage stipulations that have been out there.
A lot of it, I think, not just in WWE. WCW needs to be shoulder some share of the blame for some of the monstrous cage stipulations that they've come up with, bro.
Oh dear, monstrous is right. Big shout out to Muhammad. Daniel, what's up? It's good to see you as always. One of our OG listeners. We appreciate that, of course. And talking about listeners, hey, if you are listening to the podcast right now, we're still on Spotify, we're still on iTunes. If you missed the live stream, don't worry. But I know sometimes you want to see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to us. Also can on YouTube. We are everywhere, bro. We are spreading our wings.
Bro, the best thing about watching us every week live, right? You can see in real time my hair growth.
And my wrinkles grow as well. But more than that, you can weigh in on what we're saying, and that's why we love this live video format. But okay, all that aside, let's dive into our topics for today. As you can see right down on the scroller there, NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. Okay, can we all just agree this was an A+ pay-per-view?
Oh man, my heart wasn't broken on Valentine's Day, bro. It was broken only by one thing, bro.
What's that?
The dissolution of one of my favorite factions. That's the only thing that broke my heart on that day.
Let's not jump the gun, but you know what? I love it. I love it because it's time.
Yes.
It's time. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's run down the card for NXT real quickly. So, first of all, okay, LA Knight. Who the hell is this fella? I mean, I read that he used to be Eli Drake in the WWE. Is that right?
Eli Drake, no, he was Eli Drake in the Indies.
Okay.
He made his name in Impact Wrestling. You might have seen a bit of him on NWA Power.
Okay.
Yes.
So those names.
Correct. And just a bit of like background about him, because most people who follow like Impact Wrestling, which is like 3 of you guys, would know that he's actually he's well known for his promo skills. As you can tell, he's a great talker, right? And he's inspired by one particular guy.
Who? Is it The Rock?
Yes, The Rock.
Okay, you know why? Because like I've seen 2 promos from him, right? His debut promo at NXT's pre-show, the TakeOver pre-show, and then this past week on NXT. As I'm listening, I can hear The Rock's cadence. It's not the same voice, but the way he pauses, the way he, phrases certain, I'm like, it sounds like The Rock and Stone Cold a little bit mixed in there, actually.
Combined, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you the connection with him and The Rock. The reason why he's so inspired by him was that he's actually a contestant on one of The Rock's previous reality shows. Do you remember The Hero?
The Hero?
On NBC?
There's a hero. That one? No, not that one.
No, that one. No, not that one. No, Mariah Carey, bro. No, The Rock used to host this reality program called The Hero, where he like hired he get contestants from all around the world who like do like very stand-up honorable jobs like firemen, soldiers, blah blah blah,
cool.
And then compete in like heroic tasks like saving someone from a fire.
Right.
I don't know. It's like all this crazy stuff lah.
Wow. Okay. Div Royalty. Big shout out to you right now. She just jumped into the chat saying that she's excited for Mortal Kombat. Finish him.
Yes.
As well.
You are our gang, bro.
Yeah.
You are our gang.
Oh, look at all of us geeks going crazy about it, huh? Okay, back to the wrestling. So there you go. Now his name is LA Knight. He's in NXT, which is great. On to the NXT, the wrestling show proper. And I say wrestling show because this was a wrestling show. If anything, every match was different. It featured a different style. We first had Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez winning the Dusty Cup, the inaugural Women's Dusty Cup. Did you enjoy that match, and was it the right winners?
Remember we were having this discussion or last week's episode where we previewed the show. Because Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai are heels, right?
Yeah.
Would it make sense for them to have a heel versus heel match with Shayna and Nia? And if I remember correctly, you were kind of like rooting for was it Shotzi?
Amber and
Shotzi?
Shotzi.
Amber Moon?
Yep.
Yeah. In a way, I find that Dakota Kai and Raquel are like the more fully formed team, like
sure.
in the sense that not just they've been together longer, I feel they have already ready-made storyline there. It's Diesel and HBK, bro.
Yeah. That's true.
That's what
but
they're doing.
The problem is Dakota Kai does not have the HBK charisma.
Correct.
No, nothing against her in-ring work, but her promo skills are just not there, I feel.
Yes,
and the funny thing is, right, when you watch this match, it almost felt as if they are playing a little bit of the face. Raquel was anyway, because she got a lot of like the big clearing the ring hot tag moments. So I'm like, And going against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, as we saw on this week's NXT, I was like, are they going to like make them the face of this feud? If not completely turn them, maybe make them the face of this feud. Or is this the catalyst? Because at some point, the whole point of putting Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai together is to have them eventually split and feud with each other, right?
Definitely. And the thing is, it's weird. Like, you brought a great point. Even though I was watching technically a face team versus a heel team, I felt like the face team, there wasn't any peril in a sense.
Yeah.
It felt like the babyface fire was going, like you said, more towards Raquel.
Yeah, so I'm like, are they trying to build her as a face? Because interestingly enough, and I don't know, for many weeks we've seen her like looking fierce and frowning. This week she was like smiling a little bit more. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm thinking too much into it, you know what I mean? But I'm like, are they trying to make her more likable?
You know what I like about her so far?
What's that?
I really like when she leans into her culture a bit, bro. When she keeps, when she call when she call Nia Jax Chiquita,
Yes.
All
And
the
then,
Mexican slang all come out.
Of course, a whole joke came out.
Yes. Sometimes they run things into the ground, and this is the start of it,
And it wasn't a very subtle jab as well. So
indeed. But you know what? Raquel is likable. I really find, especially when she's given more promo time, she shines in her promo time even more than Dakota Kai.
So, okay, how about this? Nia Jax, because this is happening on an NXT, their title match, so it's not going to be at a pay-per-view, right? Yeah, this is what I believe anyway. So, Dakota Kai turns on Raquel somehow after they lose, and then they can move on with their promo?
Yes, here's the funny thing. For the first time ever, the Dusty Cup Classic, right? The option of them facing a tag team that is beyond NXT is brought up this year, because usually if they win, they're technically number one contenders in the NXT Tag Team Championship. So I really like that because it's the first time that the girls are involved, and there is a women's tag team title. So it feels, and I've posted this before, for the first time I feel very interested, looking forward to a women's tag team title match.
Right, and also, let's face it, Shayna and Nia Jax have nothing else to do. This was the logical thing to do, you know what I mean? So, look, I don't even want to go into the wrestling in any of these matches because they were all good. Good or great, depending on which match we're talking about. So, storyline wise, I'm fine with it. I'm totally cool. I think, just in hindsight, the correct people won, and they're going to get a good rub, hopefully, from the Hole and Baszler.
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to, as much as, we crap on Nia and all that. I mean, she is a dominant female wrestler. And I want to see that matchup, Nia and Raquel going head to head, face to face.
It's like AEW keeps upping the game in terms of the vulgarities they can spit on TV. So is NXT also going the same way? Because she kept calling herself a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. So is bitch okay now? For network TV, apparently?
Orange is the new bitch. Is that what they call it?
What? Okay, anyway, let's move on then. Johnny Gargano, Kushida, NXT North American Championship. Now, what I really appreciated about this match, right? You know how Johnny Gargano is this cowardly heel. He has his own faction, The Way. But the faction didn't come into play at all because Austin Theory got kidnapped by the creepy Dexter Lumis. And then, the ladies had to go and find Austin Theory. So there was a reason for his faction not being there. And they could go on and actually have a crazy-ass technical match.
Is it weird for me to say my favorite part about this rivalry between The Way and Kushida is actually Dexter Lumis?
yeah, he's like that. He's not the main character, but everyone loves him.
Yeah, he has somehow mastered the art of being very creepy and kind of funny at the same time.
No, he just shows up and then does what he does and disappears off the screen. You know what I appreciate? They're not overdoing it. He literally just shows up and disappears.
It's something about his Zoolander stare, bro.
The Zoolander stare.
His blue steel.
Blue steel, a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
So, like I said, match itself, I mean, come on. These two just put on a show. The problem, and I still feel the same thing, is Kushida has no heat.
Even though, to be fair, I really enjoyed his performance here.
Yes.
He felt dominant.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Kushida is he's a striker. He brings a bit of that strong style into play. And no one sells better than
Johnny.
Gargano.
Yeah.
Correct.
But do you feel any more or less about the character? Do you care more about him? Do you care less about him? Now we respect as a performer. We understand the skill, right? But do we care as a character?
I care about him, but it's more because of Gargano feuding with him.
Okay,
you get what I mean?
So now, moving on to like this week's NXT, he's backstage. You know, they're talking to him, all that stuff. Did you feel anything from that promo? I didn't. I was like,
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm following too many Japanese people, bro.
Are you following?
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Was he very charismatic back in New Japan? Is it a
No,
language
I mean, he's not
thing?
known for his promos for sure. But
okay.
the thing is, he was more of a tag team guy. You know, he and Alex Riley were the time splitters.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell that is either. So.
So they split time.
Oh yeah. Well, let's split this and move on. Great match. Johnny Gargano winning, I think, makes a lot of sense. MSK, they are the new tag team, well, contenders anyway, for Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. They beat the grizzled young veterans.
Yes, I'm so sad.
Why? Why are you sad?
Bro, I was rooting for grizzled young veterans, and I know you were rooting for MSK. So good for you.
Yeah, well, face versus heel, this is just logic to me. But here's the thing, you know, when I look at MSK and what they did on NXT this week, I was like, they are essentially the new Street Profits.
Yeah. It's all the whole popcorn deal, right?
It's like they always need one like hype team. They'll like be in the background and go whoa, or like do very meme-ish things.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the difference between MSK, Street Profits, Private Party, and the Acclaim?
Very hard to, very. And see, this is my big problem with AEW. Without going on a huge tangent, actually, I will a little bit later on when we talk about this week's AEW shenanigans, right? But I love their energy. I love their high flying. I hope they give us more reasons to like them other than their fancy moveset.
Yes, correct. Because MSK is great. You know, we already have it down pat. Bottom line, they are great high flyers. Very fun to watch in the ring. But then again, I bring you back the same issue right now. They have the same gimmick as Street Profits. Private Party also have the same kind of vibe. You know, they are all about the flash, the bling. You know, I'm cool with the gang. I don't want to throw away like street gang because I'm not black.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like they're just riding on that. But I kind of feel like, you know, someone like the New Day. Someone like New Day, they stayed out.
The New Day found their niche and then pushed it, like they became this, like, you know, colorful group, power of positive, and they were genuinely entertaining with what they said. As opposed to Street Profits, sometimes they can get a bit like, oh, okay, this again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is a very fine line, and it's very easy to jump straight over the line and overdo it and become annoying.
But who's one of the kid from MSK? They always keep comparing him to the Street Profit guy.
Montez.
Yeah, Montez Ford, because he does this crazy flip from the top rope.
Yeah, and then spins like a million times.
Yeah.
Dude, they are so athletic, and okay, I don't want to get into it. I'm gonna start comparing them to the Young Bucks, and then stop it, bro, stop it. Anyway,
this is a literal wrestling slippery slope, bro.
It is. It really is. The right team won. They're moving on to a matchup with Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, and hopefully those two can slow these guys down and tell a proper story.
The best part, the most memorable thing about MSK so far is their segment with Beth Phoenix in the popcorn.
Yeah, they look so cute. It was funny.
Yeah, so like, you know, more of that. That.
But not too much. Don't overdo it, right?
Show enough personality, but don't be a caricature.
Yeah. Okay, Io Shirai, Mercedes Martinez, Toni Storm. You notice Io Shirai pinned Mercedes Martinez? So Toni Storm never got pinned. So that, and you watch this week's NXT, that is what her whole rivalry or the continuation of the rivalry is going to be based upon, right? Like, oh, you never pinned me, I deserve a one-on-one, blah, blah, blah.
Was there any doubt Io Shirai was going to retain?
No. I mean, yeah, exactly. We talked about it last week. Mercedes had little to no heat coming in, to be honest. Toni had some heat, but I think she's not ready.
But you know, one thing about Mercedes Martinez, I really, I'm happy that she's back in NXT. I'm happy that she kind of recaptured, well, she never really lost it because it was too small of a time frame that she was in Retribution. but before that, you know, she was part of the Robert Stone.
Wow.
kind of part of Robert Stone brand. But what made it better was she wasn't really part of it, but she was like using them. There was a storyline there.
Yeah,
for God's sake.
they tried to squeeze something in there. It's funny because I feel like a lot of the storylines. And wrestling is always like that, right? Remember, there were times where, AEW is riding on a high, their storylines are great, and the payoffs are great. And then WWE all of a sudden took over, and their storyline. So now I feel like we're riding a high on NXT. Do you feel that way?
And I think because the NXT is so focused in their storytelling, every single match that I've never, to be honest, even like their so-called like lower cut matches, they never felt like filler to me. They always trying to push the storyline forward.
And here's the thing. There are other storylines being developed on NXT TV right now. The Xia Li, the whole like whatever demon woman, I don't know lah. That they have going on. Mortal Kombat, right?
There's the Mortal Kombat crossover there.
Yeah, there's that. They have the whole I'm going to the Cameron Grimes.
Oh yes, Cameron Grimes and his music video.
Yeah. That funny is that rich Cameron Grimes going on. Dexter Lumis as well. Yeah. So it's just exciting times on NXT for me.
And we never even touched Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross.
Technically, he's not part of the takeover.
Yeah, Karrion Kross and his program with Escobar.
Yeah, so now it is a program, but I don't know whether they're contending. Obviously, not for a cruiserweight title. No.
So next week, what happened on this week's NXT? I don't know if you watched, but William Regal said, "Hey, you guys are supposed to have a match on NXT." But then Escobar sent him a video saying, "All right, I'm here at the NXT, blah, 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 blah. Nah, I'm not going to fight," and went home. So Regal has said he must show up next week to fight Karrion Kross. If he doesn't, he will be stripped of the cruiserweight title. Now, think about it. There are actually two cruiserweight champions right now. Escobar and the UK fella. Devlin.
He never lost his title, right?
Exactly. Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's stuck in the UK.
It's been a long time. I mean, even Riho came back. So
maybe
it should be soon.
No, UK not doing well with COVID-19. Super rubs. Anyway, so my point is, maybe Escobar doesn't show up next week and he forfeits the title. Maybe he's like, I never lost it. That could be a whole angle. I don't know if he's injured or what though.
Is Escobar defending his title against Karrion Kross, or is it just a straight up match?
No, that's the funny thing, right? So William Regal said even though it's not going to be a cruiserweight title match because obviously Karrion Kross, not cruiserweight. If you don't show up, I will strip you. So he's just punishing him for not showing up. So this could be a way of taking the title off of him and hot-shotting it to somebody else. Maybe they'll do a cruiserweight tournament, or Jordan Devlin could come back and say, "Haha, I was the original champion anyway."
Got it. I mean, if the timing lines up perfectly, if they can have, the blow-off cruiserweight match to find out who's the undisputed champion, just in time for the WrestleMania NXT TakeOver weekend.
There you go.
That'll be great.
Yeah, so that, I'm very high on Escobar and his faction. Karrion Kross, to be honest, yet to prove his heat completely went away after he got injured. Not his fault. So what are you going to do?
It's kind of sad because he's starting back from square one because he was the NXT champion.
Yeah. He was gunning for that main event. Wait, he won the championship against Keith Lee, right?
He did.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about that. Man. And then he's starting with Cruiser. Oh shit, the emotions,
Bro, you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
The same guy that he lost his title to. Finn Balor, yes.
Finn
Balor came with the rocket strap up his ass,
and then it exploded.
He got injured, and then he got kicked. His ass got kicked all the way back down to the slope.
Yeah, kicked to the curb. Talking about Finn Balor, the Prince, the champion, versus Pete Dunne. Okay, a lot of people are throwing this term around. I tend to agree. Match of the year.
Even though it's still February, but so far
early contender. Holy shit, dude. Okay, we know Finn Balor as this graceful. I mean, you know what I mean, right? He's like a technical guy, but he's actually very more graceful as well. Along the lines of like a Seth Rollins sort of a guy. But this match was like a brawl, like not a brawl. Sorry, like a brutal, violent, beautiful thing.
Okay, I get what you mean because sometimes I feel Finn Balor doesn't get enough credit for his toughness.
Yes.
People for some reason don't think he's
tough. No,
tough.
because of his freaking thirsty abs.
Yeah, because he thirsty abs, then because he got all of these thirst trap photos, and he like a smiley nice guy, and he dressed so nice. So people always think like, oh, he's a sweet boy, cute, and then he can do all this high flying stuff.
Sweet boys, yeah.
No, bro, legit. He one of his hobbies is like building Lego.
Oh,
They did like there's this network series called My Son is a WWE Superstar, My Daughter is a WWE Superstar. Yeah,
and he freaking do Lego.
Correct. They followed him back to Ireland, back to his hometown, met his family and all that. And then he just, like, oh, this is what I do for my pastime. And he's like building a huge ass Lego set.
No wonder all the girls and some guys thirsting, yeah.
Yeah lah, he like perfect candidate, bro.
That's
perfect
why.
dating candidate.
Hey, stop it, bro.
Yeah, anyway, stop talking about Finn Balor's appeal. But the point is, ever since he's back in NXT, I think he made a conscious effort to like show like, hey, I'm a tough ass kicker.
I'm a gritty, badass, don't F with me kind of guy.
Yeah,
like,
he didn't even plan it,
Yeah.
He kena jaw broke already. Badass already, bro.
Jaw broke. Okay, so is that what you're saying? Like you have to get your jaw broken to be a badass?
Get your jaw broken and then still come back within 2 months and still continue be a fighting champion.
Sure.
But another thing about him is that what is so great about him and Pete Dunne, there's also that European connection. Like they use it as part of their rivalry as well.
Yep.
I think I remember in the promo package that they played before the match. Pete Dunne said something along the lines of, everybody is like looking up to Finn Balor. He's supposed to be like the role model everyone in Europe looks up to. I didn't want to be like Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I love that line.
I love the two of them. I hope one day Pete Dunne does become NXT champion, to be honest. He could be just this brutalizing destroyer of a heel champ.
Yeah. Ever since, I think, because he took a couple of months off before he returned and like formed that whole faction with Pat McAfee and Orny Local, and then he merged, right?
Yeah.
Ever since he came back, I think he more shredded. Bro.
Yeah, he is definitely. Oh, talking about Pat McAfee, he had a promo on NXT. He was on a plane. I'm like, so is he still part of this group, or he just randomly like he had a promo? He was swanning Adam Cole, like, haha, you internet wrestling community fans, haha, I told you he was a joke. I told you he was a dick. I'm like, so are you face or heel?
I kind of like it though. I kind of like that he's basically playing the Miz role. Remember when Daniel Bryan turned heel?
Yeah.
And the Miz said, yeah, you see, it's good, right? Becoming heel.
Yeah. If anything, I hope actually I do enjoy his promos. And I mean, come on, the dude showed that he can go in the ring.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
From listening to Triple H's media call before NXT, somebody posted a question about Pat McAfee, like where is he, what's his commitment to WWE like? And the thing, it's very funny. It's almost as if Triple H is alluding to the fact that since Pat McAfee is like a multimedia personality, his podcast is apparently widely successful in America. He's a sports personality in NFL and all that.
Yep.
So WWE is almost treating him like a part-time wrestler and giving him part-time perks. It's like basically he's NXT's Brock Lesnar, bro.
Oh my God, Pat McAfee. Very soon it'll be Brown Bunny. I mean, Bugs Bunny. I mean,
yes.
you know who I'm talking about.
Bad Bunny next, bro. He is the next Latino superstar. Move aside, Eddie Guerrero. I'm sorry, that's blasphemy to say that.
Yeah, I know it is, man. Bro, what are you thinking? Div Royalty says, yeah, Finn goes back and forth, being a demon, a gentleman, a badass, confused. I think right now he's... I wouldn't say he's so much confused as he's evolving his character. So I actually quite enjoy the path that he's taken right now. And yeah, he couldn't be the demon forever. Like that face paint takes a lot of effort, no?
Yeah. I mean, I like that he has the demon in his back pocket. He can pull it out anytime. Like Super Saiyan power like that.
That's why.
Yeah, but now his badass Prince gimmick is much more entertaining than his smiley, Finn is for everyone, Balor is for everyone,
Yeah. Bro, Demon versus Fiend 2023, let's go. He needs to come back and there needs to be some weird supernatural angle down the line.
Yes. Like I said, I am campaigning for Finn Balor to come back to the main roster. And even in a weird way, I don't want him to be permanent part of the main roster.
Oh.
I want him to represent NXT at WrestleMania, fighting against someone in the main roster.
Actually, that would be pretty badass.
That would be pretty badass.
Yeah. Okay. So all in all, like I said, A++ pay-per-view. If you haven't watched it, maybe you're not a big fan of NXT or you don't watch it regularly, watch this. If you're a pro wrestling fan, watch this. Storytelling, A.
Yep.
Wrestling, A. What else is there?
Can I say best pandemic pay-per-view so far?
That's I don't know about that. I mean, WrestleMania. Okay.
I mean, in terms of when I say pandemic, as in like the entire experience.
This era. Yeah, sure. Yeah, because they have not a proper, but they have some fans back. They have the whole mini Thunderdome setup and everything. So yeah.
We didn't really talk about like the big heel turn at the end of the match.
Well, we're gonna get there right now.
Yes, indeed.
Adam Cole, baby. Okay, so he comes in, everyone poses, they run off the what the hell is the Oni Lockin and Danny Burch faction called for the business for the
they are apparently for the brand, right?
For the brand,
like
yeah, FTB and whatever lah. Anyway, not FTR can already. So Adam Cole comes in, they celebrate, they pose, blah blah. Boom! Super kick to Finn. Now that made sense, right? It was like, Adam Cole is a bit like, I don't trust this guy. But then he super kicks Kyle O'Reilly.
That made a lot of sense as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since Kyle O'Reilly has gotten this push, right? Having all his badass matches with Prince Bella. Mm-hmm. The faction leader has been pushed kind of to the side a bit, correct, kind of forgotten. Maybe he's jealous lah, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, the thing will play out, but it makes perfect sense. And Roddy Strong is like in between, like, hey, why? Hey, don't fight. Hey, don't fight. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I like that Roderick Strong hasn't joined one side yet. He's really like that in between. Like, when you have friends, right? And we've all been through this. You have friends in your group, and then one don't like the other because of whatever reason, and then you are stuck in the middle going, hey, bro, but you're still friends with both. Right?
And then there's also that one friend who never turns up to all the meetings, aka Bobby Fish.
Is he injured or what?
I think he is again, bro. He forever paitao, bro. He's like the least developed character in Undisputed Era, unfortunately.
Yeah, because he's never around. So he's like, okay, you stay out.
Poor thing lah, that guy.
Was it time?
It actually it's overdue.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's overdue. I think, right, they should have broken up. Okay, pandemic aside, they should have broken up right after the final match with one final beat that he had with that one. What do you call it? I forgot his name. Ciampa.
Oh, Ciampa. Right.
And bro, Ciampa wasn't even on the show.
Oh yeah, him and Thatcher like budding romance or whatever, bromance, and then.
Yeah.
What?
Well, that just shows how deep the roster is, man, on NXT.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why I felt that was the best time was because if Ciampa and Gargano had that thing to put them to the side, right? And then it was who did Adam Cole face on last year's TakeOver? He had a rivalry with someone else before Velveteen Dream.
I forgot. Yeah, was it Pat McAfee?
No. Okay, that was even before. As in, like early on in the year, when Adam Cole was the NXT champion, it was supposed to be Adam Cole and Gargano, but then Gargano got sidetracked with Ciampa.
Right.
I don't know whether it's Finn Balor. Was it Finn Balor? I can't remember. Yeah, but the thing is, the best time to break up Undisputed Era is like when they're on top. Like, they shouldn't have turned face because last year they turned face. Yeah,
they turned face and then they just kind of were treading water. They were not even in the main event. They were sort of like upper mid card, so just chilling out for a bit. Maybe they just didn't have the right storyline, and now is the right time because they have the storyline.
The only reason why I would be agreeable to them, breaking up now is because they finally built another star other than Adam Cole. Kyle O'Reilly has gotten on top.
Well, let's get to that. That was the one thing on this week's NXT. Did you see his promo? He's like in the ring calling out. I was like, yes. He's not a good actor, bro. I mean, I'm not. I don't know, and maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they're going for like he's not acting, he's just being himself, right? But I didn't really like. I was like, it felt like two secondary school kids in a play trying to act like they're angry at each other.
Kyle O'Reilly is a great, in-ring worker.
Nobody's arguing that. Everyone knows he's a great in-ring worker. I'm saying
Yes, but nobody also is saying that he's a great promo guy.
no.
I don't think anyone has ever said he's a great promo guy.
I enjoyed. See, they had one skit on NXT, not a skit lah, a segment where they showed like it's like a camera like spying on them, and it was Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong in the back in the parking lot. They are like arguing with each other. I'm like, okay, that works because you can't hear what you can see their physical actions, and they look like they're angry. They're oh my god, what the fuck is wrong? Where is this guy? Blah blah blah. So they look like they're arguing. I'm like, they should have just gone with that. To be honest,
You know who's the best person that was selling this whole thing, in my opinion?
Adam Cole,
No,
Finn.
Roderick Strong. His reaction is like,
What?
why are you trying to defend my friend?
But both of you are my friend. Okay. Let's wrap up NXT. Like I said, go out of your way to watch it if you haven't already watched it. And then on NXT this week as well. So at the end of it, Adam Cole came out and suplexed Kyle O'Reilly onto the steps, right?
Yeah.
Looked like a brutal move. And there was a rumor that Kyle O'Reilly had seizure. Now, this is not 100% confirmed. This is a rumor, right? But apparently the people in attendance said that he looked legitimately hurt. They had to bring out the stretcher. Triple H came out and all that. Now, I wonder if A, he had a concussion or something like that, right? Because, I mean, it was on the steps. Or B, are they really selling it? Like, really, really selling it?
I mean, do you follow the news thread after that?
Not really. What news
Okay,
thread?
so I don't know whether I want to, keep up this gimmick or should I just tell you what happened after that?
Tell her.
They reported it. Ryan Satin reported that somebody misreported it and read it as that he had a legitimate concussion / seizure.
Uh-huh.
And because the people there in attendance were still audience members, right? They're not part of the show. So they saw it for what it was and they thought it was a seizure because Triple H came out.
So, so it's
they
a
played
work
it all
lah.
out.
It's a work lah.
It is a work, but a lot of people got worked by the work.
No, but then you see, that's a good work. A good work blurs the line of reality and fiction.
Yes, it's true. And the funny thing is they didn't even intend for it to be like, like this huge big deal.
Yeah.
It was just Kyle O'Reilly selling it, and just, overselling it or whatever it was.
No, but like we said, that means they did a really, really good job of selling this angle, all to a point where I'm like Googling, oh, is he really concussed? Did he really have a seizure? Blah, blah, blah.
Here's one thing I didn't like about it though.
What?
It's not really because of the angle. It's the reaction from the fans because Ryan Satin, so one of the WWE on Fox correspondents, he actually put out a statement and say, hey guys, I want to apologize for like earlier reporting that this was a possibly legitimate seizure. You guys will be happy to know that it's just a work. So, I apologize. And then I feel like the fact that he had to apologize, he's basically breaking kayfabe on behalf of WWE trying to tell a story. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean,
it's a hard line to toe lah.
Yeah, it is what it is. People are genuinely worried, and seizures and concussions are nothing to joke about or fake. Yep. So I don't. Yeah, it is a weird line. So anyway,
it's like I want to suspend my disbelief. I was like, oh my god, is this really have a seizure?
Yeah.
And then like somebody kind of like
but I also want him. I want to know that he's okay.
Yeah. So it's like now that we know that this is okay, can we still suspend that disbelief and enjoy it, or is it like
no?
In the
enjoy
back of our mind, we know.
Enjoy it. He got destroyed by Adam Cole, and the funny thing is, WWE themselves, NXT, they showed a different angle, and when you see, I saw the different angle. It was like a ringside camera guy, right? Maybe he was taking extra footage. I'm like, his head didn't look like it touched the steps at all. Adam Cole protected him the whole way through. Adam Cole took like 90% of the blow.
If nothing else, I thought Adam Cole was in more pain.
Yeah.
he had more of an impact there.
Yeah, because his whole upper torso went into the steps.
Yeah.
And he actually just kind of flipped him over, so there might be a little bit jarring to the neck, but his head didn't touch the steps at all. So I'm like, wow, why would WWE put footage like that out there? It's like their own NXT account on Instagram. I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, his head cleared. Maybe they're trying to dispel the concussion rumor subtly.
Maybe they're trying to reassure the fans. The thing about Adam Cole is the way he sold it, if you saw, right, the reaction was he sold it that he was in legitimate pain.
Yeah.
And I think he was in legitimate pain.
Probably.
But people should be looking and concentrating on Kyle O'Reilly selling
Well, I mean, he wasn't. He sold in that he was completely not moving. So
Yeah,
that
like
was he completely got destroyed.
Yes,
Which-
he just died like that.
Yeah. Div Royalty says Kyle is so adorable. The awkward promo skills fits in well now, and she's excited to see him evolve from this betrayal. I think we all are as well. We know what he can do in the ring. Let's see where the character goes, and hopefully Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Finn Balor. That's going to be an amazing series.
Div Royalty, I wonder, right, from a female fan's point of view, do you think that Kyle O'Reilly's new hairstyle reminds him of Chicken Little a bit?
Chicken Little. You mean the? Hey, hello. I also have the similar hairstyle. Okay, what's wrong with that? The little,
the Chicken Little hairstyle lah.
Mohawk, Mr. Young hairstyle. Thank you very much. Okay, NXT, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's move on now and talk a little bit about AEW, I suppose, before we move on to the preview of WWE Elimination Chamber.
AEW.
You see, now I'm really sort of like, I watch NXT to watch good wrestling, storyline progression, characters I care about. AEW is like a smorgasbord. You have some really good stuff, you have some horse shit. Like right now, everything that Cody Rhodes is involved with is rubbish. I don't care. They're wrestling a bunch of people I don't know. Like it's like people they have not built. It's like, oh, you my friend, come. Hey, we all body, come. I bring you onto my televised, nationally televised TV show to have wrestling matches. I'm like, what the hell is this shit, right? And then you have like the Jericho stuff with the Sammy Guevara, being kicked out of the Inner Circle. Finally, Santana and Ortiz are in the title picture, which I'm very happy about because I think I've said it before. They have so much potential.
Yeah,
that's why Jericho wanted to work with them, lah.
I'm actually, I don't understand that storyline, to be honest. Like I don't understand why Chris Jericho and MJF had to take the main role as a tag team when they already have Santana and Ortiz.
It's to create tension lah within the Inner Circle.
Yeah, the only thing I can guess is they want to try to make Santana and Ortiz sympathetic in a way.
Yeah, maybe. Then also, what else do we have? Okay, now this is my Young Bucks rant.
Okay, please carry on.
They go on and on about how great their tag team division is. We have such a deep tag team division. There's the best tag team division in pro wrestling. Can you tell me whether the Young Bucks are heel or face? Kind of. Have their characters evolved at all ever since they started?
I have a lot of things to say about their tag team division.
Who do you even... Okay, who are the AEW tag team champs?
Obviously, it's the Young Bucks now.
Yeah, but you have... I feel like I had to take a second to think about it just now when I was like, who are they? I was like, oh, okay, they're still holding on to it. It's like the program that they have, like, Private Party were involved in the mix at some point, then FTR don't know disappeared where, they got suspended 1 week, and it's like, okay, let's go back to when AEW first started, and this is what I said about the Young Bucks. I remember this so clearly. I said, they are very good at doing what they do on the indies. They show up once a month, maybe. Sometimes people see them once a month. They pull off amazing moves. People remember. It's like highlight reel wrestling, right?
Yeah.
I said this. They cannot do this every week on national TV. They need to figure out a way to develop themselves as characters. They have a storyline, and that's what they failed to do. And that's why the tag team division, even though they have a lot of talent, is no better. To be honest, no better than the WWE. No better.
There's an interesting comparison that you can make within the WWE and AEW. WWE suffers from a lack of tag teams. They have great talent, but they can't seem to group them all up and have a deep tag team division roster. Even though it's proven that they can actually pull off great tag team matches.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of my big criticisms about AEW now. Objectively looking at it after like 2 years, they have too many tag teams.
Yeah.
Every single main event is a tag team match. Like out of like the 2 hours of Dynamite, I think out of 8 matches, like 6 of the matches are some sort of tag team or multi-man match. The only one-on-one match is always the women's match.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? I feel like they're trying so hard to like showcase, like we can showcase the best of tag team wrestling and all that. But from watching AEW, right, I'm sick of tag team wrestling watching AEW.
Yeah, they are not doing tag team wrestling well. You know why? It doesn't matter if it's tag team wrestling 3-on-3, 1-on-1. You're not telling a story. There's only so many pops you can get out of a flying jalapeno or a smart mark driver or whatever bullshit they come out with. They keep appealing to that fan base, and it's not freaking working. Tell good stories. This is, okay, in a way, what happened, remember like the Hardy Boys and Edge, and then they had to keep escalating by doing more dangerous stuff.
Yep.
And ultimately, it was Edge and Christian that surged ahead because they developed what? Characters. To be honest, Matt and Jeff, they weren't really characters. They were just daredevils, right?
Yep.
And they hit that ceiling after how many ladder matches and tables, latches and chess matches? Where else could they go? They couldn't go anywhere already.
Yeah, the only time that they started to become interesting was when they developed proper characters.
Correct. So the Young Bucks, oh my God, they need to do it. They have so much talent. But like I said, I think right from the start, they have been too high on themselves. They've been so used to this indie style where they just do highlight reel stuff all the time.
You know who I feel has been done dirty?
FTR.
I feel FTR, yes, correct.
Yes.
And I've seen FTR, gone on record, to say on shoot promos and say they're not happy with the booking in AEW right now. They're not, because they felt like their tag team title run was too short.
Yeah. It was not memorable at all.
Yeah, and the so-called the dream match that we all wanted to see, FTR versus Young Bucks, right? Honestly, I'm not a fan of the finish. Because they wanted to play this whole story of like they can't beat them in straight up wrestling. They also had to, that one time they had to go and do a high flying move. That's when they lost.
Yep.
And then after they lost, they just completely the rivalry just dropped.
Yeah. So what happened there?
There wasn't a rematch. There wasn't a follow up. They just decided that to keep them away so they can build them up again. But for what?
See, this is the difference, right? So right now in AEW, you have this system of you are my friend. We come in, we fuck around, we do some. Oh, that's one F-bomb. We F around and we all have a good time. We pop the crowd. But over on NXT, I see long-term storytelling. I see rivalries being developed over long periods. It makes sense where certain people are going at it, I mean, it's not to say that everything in AEW is bad. Like, I want to mention, everything that Chris Jericho touches is great because he's Chris Jericho. He knows what he's doing. And that's the thing with AEW, right? It's like everyone is sort of in charge of their own little promo. So the veterans are going to do well, whereas the young ones are floundering. Like, why is Peter Avalon in any thing right now? Like, who the hell is this? He was a librarian and now he's pretty. And now he got a match against Cody and then he teamed up with some guy. I have no idea. Big guy. But I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Well, I cannot, yeah.
Right now, right, I think what AEW is suffering from, and which only happens after a couple of years in the show's existence.
Yep.
They started off by having not enough of a deep roster.
Yeah.
Now I think they have too much of a roster that that don't have enough time to showcase everyone in that 2-hour slot. That's why they squeeze everyone into like a multi-man tag team match, and everyone is part of a faction. That's why they're trying to get as many people on the show. I get it, but I feel like it's to the detriment of us as a fan, right? Like right now, okay, I watched AEW from the last time. I always watch it first before NXT, only because I have the Fight TV account. I can watch it live. But the problem is every time I open it, right, it's always a tag team match.
See, you know why not? A tag team match is easy to book. This is like 80s booking.
But the problem is, we as wrestling fans have been conditioned to not like tag team wrestling at all because of WWE's shitty booking. And now
AEW shitty booking.
AEW is trying to tell us like, hey, we're gonna make tag team great again. But the thing is, there's nothing I can latch on to. Like, who's my favorite tag team in AEW? And it's not because I like them, but it's just because for some reason, I feel even until now they're very, very like, not say underrated, but I just feel they haven't been given a fair shot.
Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy, is it?
Yes, correct.
No, it's easy to see why, because they have the most outstanding look, character. They can go as long as they get rid of Marcus Stunt.
Okay, but why I like Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy is because they have not been overexposed. I find that they are like this plucky mid-card team that sometimes that one time they have like a victory, an upset victory is like a big deal. I will root for them. But if they lose, I'm like, but they perform so well.
Correct.
They kind of thing. So like I feel there's a connection. Like I have a connection with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus because of that. Another tag team that I feel is still very, very new, but I can foresee myself really, really liking them. Is the Varsity, what do you call it? The Varsity Boys or something. The Varsity Blondes.
Who the hell are they?
Varsity, okay, you don't watch enough AEW. Varsity Blondes is the Brian Pillman Jr.,
Oh.
the son of Brian Pillman,
Yeah.
and the other guy who I don't know his name, Garrison something. But both of them are obviously blondes. But the reason why I really like them is because the way they perform, right? They are like a modern day rockers. Okay, let me try to explain this definition of them. Why I say it's like that? Because the rockers, right, technically a high flying team of back in the day. But their high flying team, when you compare to modern wrestling now, it's not so high flying.
Yeah.
I can dare say it's actually more ground based than a lot of the high flying.
Okay.
So it's very rooted in very old school wrestling. And I'm not sure how Brian Pillman has been trained, but he's slightly different than his dad. Like his dad is an all-out high flyer, fight with Jushin Thunder Liger, can do all the flips. But Brian Pillman is more of like he seems to have a bit of the stunning Steve Austin kind of fighting style.
Sure, more of a brawler, ground-based technical. Is it?
He's a technical guy, so he doesn't really fly, which I really like because he feels like a throwback. And I dare say his tag team partner has even a higher ceiling than Brian Pillman Jr.
Then the question is though, are they being built in terms of like who they are, what their storyline is? Because like when you mention them, I'm like, who?
Yeah, the reason why they are not, like I said, they're not exposed. I think it's almost as if they're underrated gem. The reason why they caught my eye, right? They have had certain matches with some of the bigger teams, and they always outperform.
Right.
They look better. They had a match with Young Bucks. They look better than the Young Bucks in the match.
Ironically. Let me give you a shout out, referee Ryan. What's up, boys? How you doing? Muhammad Daniel, by the way, says congrats to Cody and Brandy for having a baby girl. Yes, good news there. Congratulations to the Rhodes.
Do you realize what Cody Rhodes did the entire show, right? This past week.
What?
His only segment was for him to come out and have the baby reveal.
Anyway, let's move right along. I don't understand that. Let's just say positive vibes. Congratulations to them. Adam Page and Matt Hardy, I thought it's quite funny. So they're having this whole like Big Money Matt. The only issue I have with Big Money Matt is he went from broken to normal Matt Hardy, which was shit, and then all of a sudden, with no explanation, he becomes Big Money Matt. So, oh my god, I hate, like, you talk about WWE doing things randomly, not having like continuity. This is like the ultimate not having continuity. All of a sudden, he just shows up. Oh, I got a lot of money. I'm gonna be a manager now. What the f is going on?
Big Money Matt. I don't know what to say about this gimmick, to be honest.
So they're gonna have a money match at Revolution, right? So,
yeah, they something to do with like their earnings will be on the line or something like that.
Okay, I mean I get it and it's cute and everything, but I really hope that AEW doesn't over rely on gimmick matches, which seems like what they're doing. And talking about gimmick matches, okay, here we go. Kenny Omega, first of all, the WWE champion, according to JR.
Indeed.
When I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious. I need to put this on our Instagram page. Yeah, okay, whatever lah. He has had a slip of the tongue. Actually, I get that. So let's not give good old JR too hard a time about that.
It's a fun rip.
Cute Kenny, mistake. Don Callis, the Bullet Club, not Bullet Club, the Good Brothers. I love what they're doing. This side of him being such a dick is very refreshing.
Kenny Omega, right?
To be honest, I'm rooting for him more than Jon Moxley. I cannot bring myself to enjoy anything that Jon Moxley does. I find him very like,
That obviously ever since the Forbidden Door has been open and we've gotten a lot of teasers from all the companies working together. Some
Impact,
sort of
New Japan, AEW.
Correct. So all this wrestling cinematic universe that's happening right now.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, but one thing I really like is that we don't follow all the other promotions, right? I keep an eye on it, but like the main storyline that is grounding everything to me is whatever is happening on AEW.
Yes.
So even with the Kenta reveal, I thought that was interesting. We all know what's the end game that we all want. At least personally, what I want, which is eventually Omega. Eventually Ibushi, they gotta collide. I
mean, we talked about this before, right? Now that they are just testing the waters. Yeah. I'm sure at some point, and Tony Khan's gonna make it happen because he has the money. There's gonna be a mega pay-per-view with all three or at least two of these promotions working together. So in a sense, that is their biggest and only way to fight the WWE in terms of getting eyeballs. just have this mega massive Clash of the Worlds type event. It'll be awesome.
Clash of the Worlds, That's an awesome name already.
Clash of the Worlds. And right now, I would rather see that happen than Omega versus Mox. And to me, this is the problem, right? They started off, quote unquote, there, right? Remember their lights out match and they just went balls to the wall? How do you top that?
Well, by having a exploding barbed wire death match.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, is this the first time this is going to be put on by a big proper national wrestling federation? Because it's never been done in WWE.
I believe so. Like, this is only happened in Japan. I've never, even in ECW, I don't think they had a death match with exploding stuff. I only seen it in Japan.
Yeah.
So okay, they want to bring this gimmick into this national spotlight. Obviously, I know the reason why this is happening. They got to write off John Moxley somehow, right?
Right.
Because Renee Young's gonna give birth.
Yeah.
The only I honestly really enjoyed Renee Young's Twitter after this match was announced.
Yeah.
It was so funny because I felt like
what did she put?
Everyone was waiting for her reaction. So her reaction is like, okay, her tweet was super funny because she said, if my water was gonna break during the match, I blame all of you.
That's quite funny. You're right though. This makes a lot of sense. It does make the outcome a little bit predictable. But yeah, Kenny needs to hold on to the title a little bit longer. And who's he gonna face next?
Okay, Kenny Omega, I think somehow his rivals, right, has exceeded AEW.
Right.
They haven't built anyone who can be like a legitimate threat. Other than Moxley, but even though he's really beaten Moxley. Yeah. So unless they start building up new people soon, they're gonna his future career, like in the immediate future, is gonna be fighting a lot of
mid-carders,
cross promotion matches.
But who's a big enough draw? Unless you're talking about New Japan, like you said, the big names from New Japan. It looks like Lance Archer might be in that spot for a bit, like a mid-boss type thing for him to fight for a while. But who else?
I guess Archer now is a face.
Yeah, which is another we don't know what to do with him and Jake, so we'll just turn him face very subtly and nobody, whatever. They have a lot of short-term booking. When you talk about, long drawn-out storyline, I feel like this is a lot of short-term booking. Just do whatever pops the crowd, whatever will get headlines.
I feel like their first year was planned out.
Yeah.
Their second year was planned, but I think the pandemic affected a lot of things.
Now, anyhow, once the forbidden door opened, this is like a wrestling, internet wrestling fans' wet dream. Yeah. Try to put on as many dream matches as possible before, the doors close shut. Get it all out there. Don't care about storylines.
Bro, I'm totally gonna screen capture the reaction that you just did. It's gonna come out on Instagram.
Oh no. Okay, but you know what I mean, right? It's like
yes, I know, and
that's why
the problem when you having too many cooks in the pan.
Yeah, in the pan. Where you put the cooks in the pan?
Or is it in the broth? Bro, what is the metaphor, bro? Please educate me.
Oh my
too many
God,
cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, whatever lah. Yeah.
Oh my God, too many cooks in the pan. Why would they cook inside the pan?
That's why. But that's exactly it, right? There's something about the inmates running the asylum is on one end of the spectrum. That's AEW versus WWE. One mastermind control everything. So I feel like it has to be somewhere in the middle, but we'll never find that.
You heard the news, right? There was some reports where apparently Sammy Guevara is not happy with a proposed booking from Impact, about something he was going to do there. So when is creative control too much?
Yeah, exactly. Like he plays song and then that's why they suspended him or kicked him out or something like that.
Yes, indeed. So it's tough because right now, the thing that I have most interest in, to me, is the inner circle breaking out that whole storyline. Because we all know this is some sort of big master plan, in my opinion, that MJF is concocting.
Yes.
He's trying to destroy, and it's working. It's happening right now. Like, he's breaking up inner circle, one by one.
Yeah. So, with that said, wow, there was a lot of shitting on AEW.
With that said, are we reviewing AEW Revolution live?
Oh my God, I don't know, man. Like we committed ourselves to doing the WWE pay-per-views. It would be on a Sunday morning for us, right? It would be a Sunday actually. Because AEW pay-per-views usually on Saturday nights in the US.
That's not so. If I'm not wrong, I don't know if you want to check it right now, but AEW Revolution should be either like the first week of March or like towards the end of February. It's soon lah. It's happening.
No,
really
it's
soon.
March. It's definitely March. I believe you're right. 7th of March. Oh, it's a Sunday, which means it'll be a Monday. It'll be a Monday morning for us. Oof. Monday morning tough lah. Monday morning tough.
Okay, we'll probably put up a poll lah. Do you all want us to like shit/review live AEW Revolution?
Why do you assume we'll shit on it? I think there's really just one match we want to review, and that's the exploding barbed wire. We are desperate for attention match.
We shall see. We shall see whether that captures enough of our attention that warrants a live review.
Yeah, I think so.
See.
Okay, that being said, let's move on. Then
Yes.
let's look at, before we do the cage stipulations, look at Elimination Chamber, right? WWE Elimination Chamber happens on Sunday, which means it's Monday morning for us.
Yep.
Let's look at the card right now. It's still advertised, but honestly, it's up in the air. Asuka versus Lacey Evans, Raw Women's Championship. Lacey is pregnant. She's shoot pregnant.
She's legitimately knocked out.
And not by Ric Flair, obviously. It's like by her husband that we know of. Okay. But I guess they conveniently wrote that into the storyline since Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair are doing that thing. I find it a bit amusing. I'm like, okay, I don't hate that this is the angle they're going with. Like, it's like a real life thing adding to the actual angle now. So I'm like, woo, this is actually, it could be one of those days of our lives type angles.
Did Lacey plan this? Like, I feel like it's too coincidental.
No,
I feel it's like too perfect.
No, I think her own personal thing. I don't know if they were looking to get pregnant or she just got pregnant because you know how that works.
Maybe when this thing was happening, she was telling like the creative team like, "Hey guys, I'm trying to get myself knocked up, trying to get a second baby.
Maybe.
How will this affect? Oh, you know what? Let's bring Ric Flair in. That will make so much sense.
Actually, maybe. Maybe, and then we'll see if you do get pregnant, even better for the storyline. If you don't, never mind. You could be, but then again, we know that WWE creative is not about the long-term storytelling. So I don't know.
That sounds so bad.
Yeah, it does.
Hearing
right?
that out loud.
No. But I think because these guys and gals, a lot of them they know that they're very okay with using their personal lives, sort of blurring the line with their professional lives, which is to put on a show.
I'm just sad about Asuka, man. Asuka should have been the focal point of the women's division, but she's not. She's basically taken a back seat to this storyline.
Yep. Well, I mean, there's no strong contender right now for her. If you think about it, they've built no one. So it is what it is. I don't think this match will happen. Lacey is shoot preggers after all. So I don't know. Maybe they'll replace her with Peyton Royce because Peyton Royce has been hanging out with Lacey Evans. It makes sense. On the pre-show.
Or it could be Charlotte again versus Asuka.
Ooh, sekali Charlotte wins the championship.
Charlotte wins, defends the title against who, wife?
Lacey in a pregnancy match. Walao. No.
Because from the way it's been built up, I kind of thought eventually it's gonna be Charlotte and Lacey for the title.
At WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
But that's obviously not gonna happen. She's pregnant, so those plans are completely shelved. So what now?
So unless Lacey reveals a substitute who she can go into the storyline.
Peyton Royce, that makes the most sense because she's literally her tag team partner.
But Peyton, she's not. I mean, one more month to WrestleMania, is it enough time to build her up?
Well, we don't know. No, this is the point where now they have to pivot and try to come up with something creative, right?
Something new, yeah.
Okay, Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, Riddle for the US title. Now, the thing is, though, on Raw, they kind of mentioned that Keith Lee is injured. So I don't know if it's a shoot injury or a work injury. It could be a work injury. And then, it could make him... that could be the reason why he loses at Elimination Chamber. You know what I mean?
Yeah, perhaps. Actually, this is the match that I'm most looking forward to in terms of like the non-chamber matches. We've got three great contenders there, just right there. I mean, it's going to be an awesome match, if nothing else.
Okay, I'm low-key hoping that Riddle finally wins the US title and then Bobby Lashley can move on to the world title scene. And like he's said in interviews too, like this is like his last run. He's not going to have many more big runs. And, he's at that age already, you know what I mean?
So you're saying Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania against Drew?
Oof, I don't know about that. I don't know if they can tell that story. I mean, the Hurt Business versus Drew McIntyre would be a cool storyline to go into WrestleMania.
But it's been done. You know, they already had that match last year.
True.
Too early. But okay, in my opinion, I feel that Bobby Lashley is elevating the US title. So I think he should keep it as long as he wants to. He should bring it to WrestleMania. I honestly think a Keith Lee one-on-one match with Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania would be great.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, Div Royalty has a very good idea. Charlotte, going back to the women's title, Raw women's title, right? Charlotte wins and gets challenged by Bianca Belair. They do a part 2 at WrestleMania.
Charlotte and Bianca Belair.
Because Bianca still has the Royal Rumble, win. She still hasn't announced her pick.
But I mean, nothing against Div Royalty, but I've always assumed that Bianca and Sasha is like a lock, for the title. So I think she might be a bit too busy,
right?
Unless someone interesting returns after the after Elimination Chamber.
Returns? Who?
Someone interesting returns.
Who?
Somebody who is no longer pregnant.
Div also says just do another Elimination Chamber with all the unpregnant ladies for Asuka. Oh no. Yeah, the problem is though, now the women's division is a little bit thin. As in they haven't been building. It's not that it's thin. There's a lot of talent there. They just haven't been building the talent. So who would you even fill the chamber with to make it even interesting?
As long as it's not Shayna Baszler like trashing everyone.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, now we move on to the Elimination Chamber match. Okay, I like that this year's Elimination Chambers all have a twist. Usually it's the winner of the Elimination Chamber goes on to face the champion, right?
Yes, correct.
This year, okay, first one, the Raw side, you got Drew McIntyre defending his WWE Championship against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Kofi Kingston. Now, a quick note, The Miz was supposed to have been in here, but this is a smart booking because he's a calculative heel, right? It makes sense. He pulls himself out because he has the money in the bank. Why would he put himself through a grueling Elimination Chamber when he can cash it in on the winner, a la Edge? You remember Edge cashed in on John Cena, New Year's Revolution.
Yes, and also why take up an additional spot, bro? You are already guaranteed a title opportunity. Go relax one corner. Enjoy Elimination Chamber.
It fits his character perfectly. Now, the only twist to this is everyone knows that this is his plan. So will he be able to pull it off?
Why do I foresee, right? For some reason, if he plans to cash it in or he does some sort of shenanigans, Bad Bunny will come and save the day.
Bro, that was exactly what was in my head because they've already had that whole interaction. So he's gonna freaking come out, cash it in, and Bad Bunny is gonna cost him that opportunity, and then they can go on to WrestleMania to fight.
Bro, do you hear? There's someone else that's actually training to be a WWE superstar right now.
Oh yeah, Lil Bow Wow.
Yeah, bro, Bow Wow is still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Holy crap,
he's
Bow Wow.
He's not Lil Bow Wow anymore. I remember him as Lil Bow Wow because that's when he came up, right?
Yeah, I think he's middle-aged Bow Wow.
Yeah, he's training with Rikishi's school, at Rikishi's school with Rikishi to be a WWE superstar.
Hear me out, bro. This year's celebrity match. 6-man tag team match, bro. It will be
no stop.
No, wait for it. It will be Miz, John Morrison, and Bow Wow as a heel against Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, and some other Mexican / Latino superstar. You take your pick lah. Your
Pitbull. Mr. 305.
Then Jennifer Lopez as a guest ring announcer.
Oh, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Look, it's very obvious it's going to be Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bugs Bunny. It has to be. That's the WrestleMania match. So maybe Damian Priest will cost the Miz the cash in. Right? Actually, that makes more sense to have a proper wrestler actually be involved in the physicality in the Elimination Chamber. Because I don't know if they want Brown Bunny to be in there.
Obviously, Bad Bunny is currently our 24/7 champion. Right?
He's not my 24/7 champion.
No, not my president, bro. Yeah. Okay, wait. I'm trying to argue on behalf of Bad Bunny, bro.
What?
You know what? I now, right, he has made me open my eyes and realize, right, the 24/7 champion, right, is basically WWE's version of a celebrity prop.
Yes, you're right. It is a celebrity championship. Whenever they
Yeah.
go out, like every time they like cross promote with like NFL, some freaking announcer will be the champion, some footballer will be the. It's just to get buzz lah. It is like it's a promotional championship.
Bro, but there's only one other time a championship holder when hosted SNL. It's usually the world champion.
Yeah.
But now Bugs Bunny can hold his 24/7 championship and be the musical guest at SNL. And then R-Truth can be there. Bro, it's free promotion, bro.
Yeah, it is. No, it's definitely a good idea. It's just like, okay, like this thing has been done. It's a bit of a joke and they know it.
Yeah,
so it's fine. It's maybe it can be a whole like Bugs Bunny comes out to try to, run away from everybody. That causes The Miz to lose his title shot or something like that. Though I don't know if you want something stupid to happen to cost the main event there like that, the Elimination Chamber itself, or do you want it like to be a purposeful, like Miz comes out, Damian Priest comes out, blah blah blah, whatever. There must be an altercation before.
That definitely should be a situation where it's Damian Priest costing him the title, because I do not want Miz anywhere near the title picture for sure.
Okay, I was thinking about it too, like Miz versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. It's not the worst. It's not the worst booking.
It's not the worst, but it's not what Drew McIntyre deserves, to be honest. Come on.
What does he deserve? Brock Lesnar? Okay, let's say Brock Lesnar is off the table, right?
Okay. Before we go into that, I just want to make one more small point about Bad Bunny. Because I'm such a proponent of him.
I'm purposely misnaming him so that you will screw it up. You know this, right? I'm making you say Bugs Bunny, Brown Bunny, Chocolate Bunny.
Bro, I know my bunny. Hey, you know what's that? What's that bunny brand? The one, the sweet one, the white rabbit.
Cadbury, Oh.
You remember the white rabbit?
White
it's
rabbit
like
sweet. Yeah.
I used to love that growing up. Okay, anyway, I digress. The reason why I'm such big proponent of Bad Bunny, see, Bad Bunny, he literally is the number one selling artist on Spotify, bro.
No, bro, there's no arguing his celebrity appeal. It's like, why are they bringing in David Arquette? Why are they bringing in Mike Tyson? It's for eyeballs.
This is next level, bro. It's like WWE has never gotten such a high level current superstar that appeals to actually the current generation.
Bro, I old man. I work for a radio station that plays love songs, so I don't know about Brown Bunny.
Yeah, I know we're not the TikTok generation, bro, but this guy is the.
He is. Yeah.
It's like in 2004. Imagine they got Britney Spears on Raw. Yeah. It's like a relevant superstar. Okay. It's not like asking me to get Bow Wow. You get what I mean?
Oh shit! Oh, you poor Bow Wow.
If it's the only thing that can top Bad Bunny coming on Raw is like they can get Drake and Rihanna. That's settled already.
Then settled already. Okay, so look at this match. Look at all the contenders. AJ, not really.
Nah, I don't think he's in line for a title shot anytime soon.
Jeff Hardy.
Oh man, they have been building him up like crap. So no.
Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Mania 2.0 could be an interesting red herring.
It could be, but I doubt they're going to rehash what they did last year.
Yeah.
Sheamus, fella.
Bro, honestly, this is my pick to win.
You think so? He has the strongest chance, right?
He has a couple of things. The reason why, I mean, other than the fact that he's the last to enter, he has the most inbuilt story and history with Drew McIntyre. Yep. Sheamus is technically, I can't believe I'm saying it, but he's actually a veteran already at this point in time.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and he deserves that spotlight. He had a very great promo on Raw Talk after the show, where he said that he hasn't had a title for 5 years, 6 years. He has been here, clawing for 10 years. He was the one that gave Drew McIntyre a home when he first moved to the US.
There are a lot. You're right. There are a lot of inbuilt stories. They even touched on it on the Drew McIntyre special. So. If anything, the WWE are very good at making these promotional packages and videos. And
and I feel like for the first time, it's the most interesting Sheamus has been in a very long time.
Okay, so if that's your WrestleMania sort of match for the title, I'm going to say it's going to open the card. Or we've talked about this. It could be, if it's 2 nights, then that could be the main event of night 1. But I don't see that as a huge main event.
Perhaps depending on how they build him, because at the end of the day, Sheamus technically is owed a one-on-one match.
Yeah,
You know, he is owed a one-on-one match. They
Yeah.
wanted to give it, and then they throw this whole swerve on the. Right. Imagine he gives the biggest upset of the night at Elimination Chamber and actually eliminates Drew McIntyre.
Okay, but then where does that leave the Miz? Because you would think that the Miz would want to cash in on a face, right? Not a heel.
Well, in my opinion, if the Miz is somehow involved in the title picture, before he can even come out and cash it in, okay, probably my thinking of how he will try to use this is he tries to cash it in even before like the match ends. Like he comes in when like everyone is down.
Okay.
So I don't know how like maybe he does the Shawn Michaels where he goes from underneath the cage and then like enters the ring. So for example, maybe it's like the final two, and then like both Drew McIntyre and Sheamus is on the ground, right? You know, he comes in, he rings in, blah 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 blah. Okay, now it's a triple threat for the fight, for the match, and before he can do anything, Drew McIntyre stands up and bro kicks the crap out of the Miz.
Broke kick.
Sorry, not bro kick.
Claymore. Right.
Yes, Claymore's the crap out of the Miz, and in his distraction, he gets bro kicked. And he gets eliminated.
Right.
I feel that would be the best way to make use of all three people. It creates enough drama. The reason why I want Drew McIntyre to lose the title now is because I feel that he deserves that coronation again at WrestleMania, but this time with some sort of crowd and a beautiful, you know, like a stadium kind of setting. He needs that, bro, to solidify himself.
If he's just retaining, it doesn't quite have the same feel, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Sheamus has been champion before, so this is not like a complete like, whoa, what the hell? Like a Jinder Mahal.
Yes, it's not like a Jinder Mahal.
So, okay, Randy Orton. I think we are all very convinced that he's somehow gonna get engulfed in flames in one of his chambers, and then the Miz will laugh. I mean, the Fiend will laugh. I have a feeling that's exactly what's gonna happen.
You know what's even better?
What?
Imagine if the lights go out and it's dark, and the light comes back on, and the Fiend is inside the pot with Randy Orton.
Oh no, they can't fit. They can't fit, bro.
Yeah, bro, that is like gay, bro.
Look, you know how like this is all filmed, and they've been doing a lot of like these interesting cuts with Alexa Bliss's match.
Yeah.
Think of how this could be. All right, dun, 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 dun. It's time for Randy Orton to come out, and then like you know the lights go on for Randy Orton, right? And then the lights go out instead. Then they cut to his pot exploding in flame.
Holy crap.
And then the flames die down. He's gone. Whoa! What?
Wait. Dude. Bro, so are you saying that you want Randy Orton to come out again in his disfigured mask?
No. I want him to completely like disappear. So that could be like a what the hell happened to him? The Fiend got him. Or okay, let's not go so far as to bring the fire in, right? Let's just have maybe the lights go out, the Fiend's his videos, his aura, everything comes out, and then the pod is empty. Lights come back on, pod is empty. Randy never enters the Elimination Chamber.
So you're saying, bro, Randy Orton will be trapped in purgatory on the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then they can have one of those like the Fiend did with John Cena last year.
Yeah, a Firefly fun. It's like a cinematic match, lah.
Cinematic where they go into different dimensions. Got fire, got freaking don't know what shit. That shit.
You're trying to recreate Johnny Cage and Scorpion like in hell, lah. They're fighting in the Nether Realm.
Yeah. So literally, like the Fiend rises up, takes Randy Orton, and brings him down to hell.
Yes,
dude.
You know what?
Call it. That should be it.
Honestly, I don't mind, man. I mean, it's the Fiend. Like, let him beat two of WWE's top superstars 2 years in a row.
Bro, they freaking had Alexa Bliss on Raw sitting on a pentagram saying he's coming back. So I'm like, holy shit, they are pushing the boundaries. So go for it. You want to do some supernatural weird shit, big brain booking? Referee Ryan says, hell's yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, bro, you know, Alexa Bliss as a satanic girl, I mean,
what the hell?
Okay. I like.
Not where I was going, but you get the point, okay? Randy Orton, this is Mr. Young calls it right now. Randy Orton doesn't even enter the match itself. He disappears because of the Fiend, or he explodes in flame, or his capsule explodes in flame. They have so many things they can do with this, especially with the editing.
The only thing I will guarantee is definitely the Fiend and Randy Orton has to be a WrestleMania match.
Yes.
Done, you know.
If it's not Edge versus Randy Orton, but that's a different story. So okay.
Yeah.
Here we go then. So you're either calling for you are going for Sheamus Sheamus picking up the win in Elimination Chamber, right?
Yes, Shamus.
Shamus. I'm thinking Drew McIntyre retains and then goes on to WrestleMania to face, I don't know who, Brock or Shamus. But
Okay.
Maybe let me put it this way then. If Brock comes back, then Brock versus Drew. If Brock is not coming back, then I guess yes, Sheamus versus Drew, and Sheamus should win the title. You're right.
Correct, because what is less interesting than Sheamus fighting for the title and defending the championship at WrestleMania is Drew McIntyre defending the championship against Sheamus, because nobody wants to see Sheamus winning the title at
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
exactly. It would be a huge swerve if Sheamus won at WrestleMania, but it's the sort of swerve like, huh? Like, you know, like nobody, like what?
Yeah. Somebody put out a very interesting cheat theory on who they would have wanted to go into the Elimination Chamber. And if WWE is committed to building stars, and they have balls and they want to go crazy with this, they would have somebody interfere and enter the match. I'm thinking,
Oh my God.
you know who I'm thinking?
Who are you thinking?
Shut it down.
No,
Shut it down.
we all know that creative has nothing for Retribution anymore. Not
Think about it.
absolutely. They are lower mid-card faction at best.
Think about it. The Fiend interferes on Randy Orton trying to enter the chamber, right? He disappears. Mustafa Ali takes his place. Then
What?
Mustafa Ali
No
wins
connection.
the match.
No connection, bro. No connection. The only connection he has is with Kofi Kingston. And maybe, okay, if this, okay, how about this?
Let's play that game, yes.
Kofi Kingston, before the event is getting ready, he's walking through the hall, saying, yeah, bro, I'm ready. Retribution jumps him, beats the shit out of him. Mustafa Ali gets put into the chamber.
What an amazing swerve, bro.
Yeah, and that sort of is like the opposite of what happened last year when Kofi Mania happened.
Yeah. And
Or the
it's
year before. Yeah.
It's revenge for Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Okay, what if he doesn't win the match, but because of this whole thing that happened with Kofi Kingston, that pushes their rivalry and they will have a one-on-one match or a New Day versus Retribution match at WrestleMania.
I mean, it seems like that is the way things are going. So yeah, that makes sense. I guess I can go with that.
Yeah.
But they are not going to factor into the main event picture, lah. Let's just
But it
be
will be
clear.
a way of pushing younger stars
True.
in the chamber, right?
Yeah, good luck with that, by the way. Good luck with that. I love it. I love the art. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm a huge fan of Retribution. I'm a fan of all the wrestlers. It's just that gimmick.
wrestlers.
The gimmick is dead in the water. It is dead. Okay. Okay. What is not dead? What is hot right now? Roman Reigns. Okay. So this is the other. Once again, another weird stipulation. Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan in an Elimination Chamber match for a shot at the Universal Championship. And this is such an ultimate dick heel move. The winner of the Chamber fights Roman Reigns immediately after that for the Universal Championship.
I mean, how's
Right.
he gonna win? No one's gonna win.
Exactly. So I love the fact that they did that. Like, is this the first time that has happened?
Yes. Well, actually, no. But the way it was set up is a bit different. If you remember in 2010 Elimination Chamber, John Cena won the title, and then immediately after Vince McMahon came out and said, you will defend it straight away right now against Batista.
Okay. So yeah, it is kind of different. But,
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
bit different the setup.
They're obviously hoping 11 years down the road you don't remember lah. I mean,
Yeah, no, bro. My mind.
yeah, I know.
Nothing
Foreign is
gets
the
past me.
pro wrestling encyclopedia. But yeah, so this makes it interesting in that who's going to face Roman Reigns right away. And obviously we know Roman Reigns is going to win. Let's face it, he needs to hold the
Yes.
championship till WrestleMania to face Edge.
Well, you know what? Knowing that, Roman Reigns will win, why not have a very fun, interesting new match that, Roman Reigns can have?
Cesaro.
Yes.
I mean, they've kind of been pushing him, giving him strong wins. But do you think it's enough?
No, the whole point is for him to lose.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So it literally could be anybody. It could be Brown Bunny right now.
No. I mean, okay. I want at least a halfway decent match after Elimination Chamber. Okay, why I think it will be Cesaro. I mean, it has to be either Cesaro or Daniel Bryan. But I feel, knowing Daniel Bryan, he will say push Cesaro instead.
Yeah.
Cesaro is known as a Swiss Superman. He's an Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
So he's known for all these like long ass matches. He can survive all this brutality and still give Roman Reigns a great match. But eventually, he loses.
He
and I think
succumbs. Yeah.
Correct. And I think he can't overcome that. And that ties up the bow nicely enough for Roman Reigns to move on to Edge, I feel.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with that. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. The only thing that might be an issue, or like what, knowing WWE, they might try to still push Kevin Owens again. Then they might, just have Kevin Owens have one more blow off match where he gets utterly decimated, and that's the end of it. That could be one as well.
I feel like the feud ended already. When they had that no holds barred or last man standing.
Yeah, the last man standing match, right?
Like I was very happy with that being the end, and him all of a sudden showing up next week on SmackDown, stunning him. I'm like,
Yeah, but you know what? My money is on Cesaro. I kind of really want to see Cesaro win that match.
Yeah. If anything, it's because he is destined to lose to Roman Reigns immediately, unless they really throw a swerve.
No, Roman Reigns is wrestling's biggest superstar right now, and he needs to look dominant going into WrestleMania. I dare say, you know what? I dare say he fights against Edge right at WrestleMania, but Edge still loses to Roman Reigns.
No, that is definitely the way it should go, because I think you brought this up before. Edge is definitely in that position of elevating people, and he doesn't need to win the title. Why does Edge need a title? He doesn't, right? He's a legend. He needs to come in and put over Roman Reigns, like literally to the next level of mega ultra super heel.
Yeah, and there are even reports where he already talked to Triple H that he wants to work with NXT Superstars after this. He wants to work with a lot of talent.
Hell yeah.
So Edge doesn't need the championship. We all know that.
No. Yeah, he's here to put over young talent. You gotta respect that, first and foremost. So okay, to be honest, anybody except for King Corbin and Sami Zayn.
Come on, King Corbin, my bro.
Nothing against them, but it's like heel versus heel. The audience will be dead. Yeah, right? For that.
Yeah. And Sami Zayn's conspiracy thing, I don't think it's a main event thing. I think he's doing quite well wherever he is right now. The level he is.
Yeah. Big E, where's Big E?
Big E, he doesn't have a title match if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
because he is stuck with Apollo Crews being a heel. And also, didn't he give like a title opportunity to Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yeah, and Shinsuke is another fellow who we thought they were going to push him, but apparently now the rumor is he's just going to put over talent, which is fine. If he's happy in that situation, that's great and everything. But Apollo Crews, I hate that you brought him up, because I'm going to just go, what the hell? Young talent. He's like the Bobby Lashley of this generation, where he's like, he's like nice guy, but he's jacked. He's freaking athletic as hell, but they just don't have the right thing for him. He's gone from face to then heel for a bit, and then face, and then now he's heel again.
Do you see the promo he had with Big E? He kena crush, bro. Big E really shit on him. Did you hear what he say?
No, I can't remember.
He was like saying because he was trying to ask for one more match.
Oh, yeah,
he was trying to be
yeah.
a Christian, right? And then Big E says, you know what? Send my next challenger. He completely cut him off. You go to the back of the line.
Yeah. And then it was Shinsuke, right? Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work for me. So the only compelling ones, like we talked about, are Cesaro for the reasons you mentioned. Daniel Bryan, because he's Daniel Bryan. He will put on a good match. He will be babyface in peril to the max against Roman Reigns in this situation. And then he will give you that glimpse of hope, and then they'll take it away. It will be a good performance, I think. Or Jey Uso, because Jey Uso is part of the family, and they can sort of reignite the whole, oh shit, he has a chance at the championship. Maybe he will actually put in effort to fight Roman Reigns, but ultimately lose.
You know what would be an interesting mid-card match for WrestleMania?
What?
Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens.
I thought you were going to say Jey versus Jimmy. I'm like, yeah, why not? Why not? But then it's like a demotion, you couldn't beat the big boss, so you beat up the subordinate.
Yeah. Or it could be like Kevin Owens trying to get Jey out of his so-called trap. Because interesting dynamic about Jey Uso is, even though he is technically serving Roman Reigns and doing all this heely stuff, he still shows signs of his remorse. He's not doing this willingly. He's out of reluctance. Yeah. So I respect the storyline depth that they committed to.
No, for sure. Once Jimmy is cleared, whenever that would be, that will definitely play a role. Will he join the bloodline? Will he be against the bloodline? Whatever. We'll see. And maybe WrestleMania 24. Wait, what are we at now?
37?
37? WrestleMania 38. Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Let's do it. That has to happen. That is the dream of all dream matches.
The one that is in Hollywood is which one? 38 or 39?
I think 38.
I think it's 39 because Hollywood is. I know there's one more year after that. Is there's still Dallas, Texas, which is next year.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what year it is. The Rock will be relevant anywhere. And The Rock has to come in as face, so he can't be Hollywood Rock. He has to be like the good old I'm running for president Rock.
Wow, bro. The Rock, right? Next year, if I'm not wrong, he turns 50, yeah.
Ooh, 50 and looking amazing. Let's go look at ourselves in the mirror and feel ashamed.
Bro, no, bro. You can't feel ashamed. Bro. You are 40, what? One?
Yeah, thanks.
You look like you can be like my slightly older brother.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. At least you didn't say younger. Okay, so let's put a bow on this. Roman Reigns is still walking out Universal Champion.
Yes, correct. Indeed.
No. Okay.
I think everyone on the chat agrees, right? I mean, do you guys agree?
Definitely. What if The Miz cashes in on Roman Reigns?
Fuck lah.
Do you think that will ever? No, right? Cannot.
Second F word. No.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Miz, you are not a worthy Money in the Bank contender. I mean, he's such a joke right now.
You are very bad. Like, what are you talking about? I find like he's the most consistently entertaining heel that they have, and he's the sort of heel that could be inserted into a main event anytime. Okay, I'm higher on the Miz. Morrison being his sort of lackey kind of sucks, to be honest, because Morrison he like came back from Lucha Underground. Yeah, Morrison's back, and then now he's just stuck in the same old program he was don't know how many years ago.
Maybe 2016 Miz or 2017 Miz when he was feuding as John Cena, that was amazing. But I don't know, man. He just lost so much momentum in my opinion. So I'm not high on the Miz.
Yeah, chat definitely agrees. Roman Reigns leaves as champion. He needs to hold it all the way to WrestleMania to see that Edge versus Roman Reigns, and just build the hell out of Roman Reigns so you can build a babyface champion after that.
Yes.
To contend. Anyway, let's put a bow on Elimination Chamber and pivoting from Elimination Chamber. Of course, Elimination Chamber is a form of a cage match. And I remember the first cage matches. The whole idea of a cage match was when a rivalry just couldn't be contained in a normal ring anymore. It had boiled over. These two men or women just hate each other so much they have to settle it in a steel cage.
Or when the rivalry gets so heated, it involves so many parties, they are part of factions and all that, and they decided, you know what, it has to be mano a mano. They gotta keep everyone else outside, no one gets in. And that's how a steel cage match is also formed. Yeah,
you contain the participants in a steel cage. Remember the old school blue WWE steel cage? I actually kind of miss that. I like that much more than the chain link fence deal. But we asked, what is your favorite cage stipulations? Before that, actually, talking about, I believe we have a video. You sent me a video.
Yes, correct. Whoever that is on the chat right now, if you guys remember the very first Elimination Chamber, I think we need to play this for the people here to remind yourself the epicness of Elimination Chamber, bro.
Yeah. Before we jump in, best pay-per-view theme songs. Okay, no ads.
Okay, so all this ang pao money also not part of it.
Oh no, not part of it. Walao. Okay, so there you go. A primer for you to get you excited for Elimination Chamber if you weren't already excited. Yes. But anyway, moving on back to our topic for today. Let's talk about cage matches. We want to keep the interference out, or we want to keep the participants in. The rivalry has come to a head. All right, let's put them in the cage. We talked about the blue cage when, it was Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage.
I remember Hulk Hogan, King Kong Bundy was in the steel cage.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back, but I can't because I'm old. Definitely, Bret Hart had a lot of good cage matches.
Oh, really? Was it in the blue cage still?
It was always the blue cage.
My memory of Bret Hart in the blue cage was when he shoved Mr. McMahon. Remember that?
Yeah.
Frustrated is a goddamn word for it.
But then, of course, as with everything in wrestling and in life, you have to escalate, right? So the cage just wasn't enough anymore. Thus, the many variants of the cage, and that's what we asked you. And right now, if you're in the chat, hey, feel free to leave a comment and tell us what your favorite cage type was. But let's just run through a few. Let's take a look at our Insta story reactions, okay?
Correct.
Div Royalty, who's in the chat, says War Games. War Games is a cage match, yes.
What's interesting is War Games in WCW is slightly different from War Games in NXT, right?
If I'm not mistaken, War Games in WCW had a roof. NXT doesn't have a roof, so they can jump off the damn thing.
Yeah, so it's almost like War Games came first before Hell in a Cell.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. One interesting story I want to tell you about War Games very, very quickly is, do you know that the reason why Elimination Chamber was birthed, was created, was that actually Eric Bischoff wanted to bring back War Games for Survivor Series 2002.
Right.
But Vince McMahon said,
Nope.
no, I don't want that stipulation. I don't want a WCW creation in my company. So they basically came up with a compromise.
Yeah. So he had to come up with something original, which,
Yeah.
you know, to be fair, has birthed the Elimination Chamber. So there you go. Hustler Hiran and Shadow both say, all right, I'm going to Google this right now. I'm going to show you the image. You immediately know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Any guesses? Any guesses? Which era is this?
Well, there's one or two superstars that sort of own this match. If you think about it.
I think I know.
The Punjabi prison match.
Punjabi. Yeah, you know what?
What?
Honestly, I actually really like this structure. I
Really?
thought it could have been a great stipulation.
Yeah.
The only thing that F it up is just the booking of it. Like the booking of it was terrible.
Wow, yeah, and like, you know, it's Kali. He's not a good worker, so
Yeah, and like the first match had like a cock up. It's supposed to be Undertaker versus Kali, and then Kali got injured or something, and it became Undertaker versus Big Show.
which made no sense to take place in the Punjabi prison match because none of them have that connection.
Yeah, but okay, I really enjoyed the Batista versus Great Kali one because Batista had this one very memorable moment where he jumped from the inner cage to the outer cage.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was cool.
If you've never seen a Punjabi prison match, count yourself lucky. But it's like basically a double cage, right? Where you have to go over one and then go over the other one to win.
Yeah, but instead of it being made out of steel, it's made out of bamboo poles.
Yeah, because, you know, whatever reason lah.
Because Punjabi. I don't know.
That's mildly racist, but
No, bro, because over there, there's like bamboo. There's a lot of bamboos there, bro. That's
is
the
it
whole
really?
point.
Okay. Well, I don't want to go there. It is what it is, but it did create a few memories, and Jinder Mahal had one. So there you go.
Yeah, Randy Orton. I'm so sorry, Randy Orton.
Yeah. Captain Zarf says, or CPTZHARF. I don't know how that's pronounced, but I'm gonna guess Captain Zarf. Unpopular opinion. I love the Extreme Rules Chamber match.
I know which one he's talking about. This December to Dismember, they had an Elimination Chamber which went to the extreme. Do you remember this?
Is that the? No, I don't remember this.
Okay, this is the one where each person inside the pod could carry a weapon.
Oh my god! So wait, was this the one that CM Punk wasn't in?
CM Punk was inside it, but the one that won this match was actually Bobby Lashley. This was the first time he became ECW champion.
Right.
And it was technically rated the worst ever and lowest grossing pay-per-view in WWE history.
No.
Basically, why it sucked was it was the only match that was advertised for the card. So it was an Elimination Chamber match, and 4 of the contestants, each one had like a different weapon of choice inside the pod.
I can't even Google it, by the way. When I put in Extreme Rules Elimination Chamber.
No, you should Google December to Dismember 2006. Dismember.
All right, there we go. December to Dismember. Yeah, so it's basically Elimination Chamber with weapons lah.
Yeah, you should look at who's the contestants. I tell you, it's not really the best of the Ruthless Aggression era lah.
Oh my god, is this the correct one? Okay, so we got Big Show.
Yes.
Sabu, RVD.
We got Test.
What? Okay, yeah, never mind. This looks like shit.
Yeah.
I probably erased it from my memory because it's nonsense.
Okay, but one good thing out of this whole Elimination Chamber, in my opinion, was that the next year on Raw vs SmackDown, they had the Extreme Rules Elimination Chamber match stipulation choice. So I thought that was fun.
Okay, anyway, yeah, let's move on. Let's see, what else do we have? Muhammad Daniel says Jericho versus Ambrose Asylum match, basically a cage match with weapons. I mean, because of the participants, it made the matches good, right? Referee Ryan says that as well.
Didn't Ambrose Asylum have like They had like a steel
barbed wire.
razor, barbed wire on top as well.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was a fun stay, and I think another reason is because of the people involved.
Yes, exactly. King of Tong style and Irvin say Elimination Chamber. Okay, the regular Elimination Chamber lah. Wow, I say regular like it's very normal like that. 3 feet, third ear fee says steel cage match, the Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez one. Once again, we're going into specific matches. While we're actually looking at just the different cage stipulations. I'm actually very amazed that nobody brought up this cage match, Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell is a cage match.
Yeah, guys, Hell in a Cell, bruh.
And Hell in a Cell has brought us so many classics, from my God, he's broken in half to that's gotta be Kane. All JR calls, by the way.
Oh, and actually one of my most low-key favorite Hell in a Cell match that doesn't get a lot of love for some reason. The Armageddon 6-man Hell in a Cell, man.
The one where Rikishi fell off the roof into a truck full of hay. For whatever reason, there was a truck of hay at ringside, and they had to bring it out.
Fun fact, is the only time The Rock ever entered Hell in a Cell. That match.
Okay.
Nobody thought of that, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Lion's Den match. You guys remember that? Technically a cage match. Technically, they're trying to mimic the whole UFC deal, so it was like an octagonal cage.
Did they have that match on pay-per-view before? I can't seem to recall.
I think so. Ken Shamrock versus Owen Hart. Ken Shamrock. It was like Ken Shamrock's gimmick match.
Was it like a SummerSlam or something?
I forgot. Like, bro, you are the encyclopedia, not me. I have Google.
Okay. Bro, would you say like the spiritual descendant of that match is the fight pit match?
The fight pit. I was going to bring up the fight pit match. I'm a huge fan of it. So instead of a ring, they remove the ropes and the turnbuckle, make it into a full-on cage with a catwalk on top that you can walk on and jump off.
Speaking of crazy like things out of like a horror movie, right? I have no idea what match that was, but it's WCW had a version of the War Games. It's like a triple cage War Games match. I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
You know which I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the Chamber of Horrors match.
So the Chamber of Horrors, is it like 3 levels?
Okay, let me just see if you can see any photos of this.
Because I remember
atrocity.
WCW's
look at this one. Do you see this one?
Yeah. What movie was it? The one with David Arquette?
I don't know. It was all trash. I don't remember that shit.
Brawl for All or something like that.
No, Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble, yes. Isn't like the main event is that crazy contraption of a match, that monstrosity of a match?
Probably. So, okay, this is how a Chamber of Horrors match, obviously Halloween Havoc was when it first debuted, right? Steel cage match between teams of like 4 men, right? In the middle of a cage, there's a smaller cage with an electric chair inside and a lever, okay? This is how ridiculous it was. The way to win is to put your opponent in a chair and electrocute them.
So this match actually existed lah. People actually got electrocuted live on pay-per-view lah.
I mean, it's a shoot. I mean, it's a work electrocution. Thank goodness.
Holy crap! That was the 3rd level. There's one more 3rd level, right?
I don't think there was. I don't know.
Holy crap! Yeah. I remember this. And I'm not even a WCW follower back in the day. I just remember seeing it for the first time and thinking to myself like,
hold on. Wow. You're right. There is a separate cage. Okay, the electric chair is in the separate cage.
Okay, the 2nd cage, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong, they dangle like the belt on top of like the last cage or something like that. They have to get all the way down. Bro, I have no idea.
You know what we need to do? Halloween Havoc watch along.
Holy, yeah, we should.
Chamber of Horrors match. Let's do it one day. Okay.
This year, bro. This year's Halloween.
Let's go. Any other steel cage matches you can think of? I think we've run through most of them.
Off the top of my head, no.
Which is your favorite out of all the different variants of a steel cage match?
I really like World War III.
Oh?
Do you remember that? Do you remember World War III?
Not really.
WCW. Okay, this is early WCW. So World War III was when they had 3 rings.
Oh, good lord.
I know. Okay, why I really like that? I just like the concept of it, but I haven't had a match that was really memorable.
But wait, hold on. It's just 3 rings, but is there a cage?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, there is a World War III cage, right?
Technically, I'm looking at pictures right now. There are no cages, but I could be wrong. I don't remember.
if I'm not, it's like a Royal Rumble sort of deal that they did. But obviously Elimination Chamber to me holds the most memory because I grew up in Ruthless Aggression era. So like that was like the dominating or like the dominant structure that was being pushed at that time. So Elimination Chamber would have been the one for me.
Oh, hold on. I am now looking at one picture in WCW. It's a cage on top of a cage on top of a cage with ladders and people have to climb up on. What the hell is this? Oh my god. Okay.
That's the one I was telling you about.
Okay, so this is not the horrors. Look at this.
Yeah, this is the one that was on Ready to Rumble. What is it called?
No, this is on Nitro. Oh yeah.
As in this match was featured on Ready to Rumble, as in this structure.
War Games 2000. It was on. Oh my god, I don't believe they gave this away on free TV. Look at the ladder. Look at how dangerous this contraption looks.
Holy shit!
What bullshit is this?
Yeah. So what match is this?
I don't know. Well, like we said, it's right there. Go onto your WWE network. Look at WCW Nitro in the year 2000. Some more.
Yeah, this is probably why it ended, lah.
Yeah, they're putting their talent at risk here, bro.
If I'm not wrong, I think it's called like a triple cage match or some shit like that.
Good lord. Wow, WCW came out with a lot of shit. Oh, talking about shit, I don't believe we forgot about this one. Come on, bro. WWE is just as culpable when it comes to shit. And literally, this cage match had shit in it. Huh? No? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Coming to mind. Yeah, no.
Okay, here we go. And when you think of cage matches, any cage match, you think of like at least upper mid card to main event, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when the Big Boss Man and Al Snow had a Kennel from Hell match?
Oh, Kennel from...
You erased this from your memory, didn't you?
Too much dog shit, bro. It's complete dog shit. The match.
Literally dog shit. It was a Hell in a Cell on top of a steel cage. And inside, in between, there were ferocious Rottweilers who weren't actually very ferocious. They are very good boys, all taking a shit ringside. So
on pay-per-view,
on pay-per-view. So it was the most ridiculous sort of like, well, pile of shit.
That match, it wasn't a WrestleMania match, right? Please.
No. I don't think it was WrestleMania.
I think it was a SummerSlam or something like that. I completely erased that from my memory, bro.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's see. Unforgiven. Yeah,
1998.
They are unforgiven for pulling off this match. And the worst part is, it's Al Snow versus Big Boss Man. Like,
it's
why?
not for like a hardcore title or anything. It's just a one-on-one straight-up match.
Bro, you forgot their whole rivalry. I had pepper for lunch.
Holy, oh yeah, the
dog.
They basically like killed the dog and cooked it, right?
Yeah, well,
Oh my god.
Okay, Nashwan says search for Doomsday Cage. What is Doomsday Cage?
Bro, Nashwan, if I'm not wrong, this is the one we're talking about, right? It's like the triple cage.
Oh.
WCW thing. It's called Doomsday Cage, is it?
I guess. It looks ridiculous. Doomsday Cage. Oh my god. Yeah. If anything, you have to give it to them.
Yeah.
For trying. At least they tried. They tried.
Bro. There is one match from TNA. TNA had their own version of a cage match.
Is it the one with the X on the top?
No, that one is just a normal X Division match.
Right.
The one I'm talking about is the Lethal Lockdown.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, Lethal Lockdown. Okay, Lethal Lockdown, I think has a very weird stipulation. I can't really remember, but I know it's like a one team versus one team kind of match.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like eliminations involved and like people getting locked out. Like they like if they lose, they have to get out for a while and then they can come back in.
Okay, but it just looks like the structure looks like a normal cage, right?
Yeah, but if I'm not wrong, Lethal Lockdown has a weird. It's the cage is not different, but the stipulation itself is different.
Okay, I see. Well, there you go. I mean, to be honest, there have been a lot of rubbish cage matches. Sometimes, it's not about the gimmick, it's about the story, right? Actually, not sometimes, all the time. If you have a good gimmick, you can just put it in a normal steel cage, it will still work.
Correct. At the end of the day, if the match is the rivalry, like you said, the story coming into it is like amazing, right? Doesn't matter what stipulation, I think it would be great.
Yeah.
Like for me, like to me, like Hell in a Cell was great, not because the spectacle of it. The very first Hell in a Cell, the Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, it was a story-driven match, and it reached like a great conclusion. Like because of DX keep interfering with Undertaker's matches and all that. That's why they had the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and then of course you had the debut of Kane and everything that set off a whole bunch. But yeah, the problem with these cage matches is just like any sort of gimmicky match. Once you do too many, it becomes very stale, right?
Yeah, and I don't like this generation's plan by WWE to like make a pay-per-view based specifically around the stipulation. I think it just it's terrible for storytelling purposes because we know this is gonna happen in October.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, right? Like,
for sure.
What happened to the times where it's like, one-on-one at WrestleMania in a Hell in a Cell? You can't have that anymore because we know Hell in a Cell is going to be at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's why. But again, one of the best Hell in a Cell matches ever, end of an era, 2012. When they actually announced it, I was legitimately shocked because, like you said, we were so conditioned to think that Hell in a Cell is going to happen in October.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, you know what? I'm still going to have a Hell in a Cell in WrestleMania. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that.
So yeah, I'm still definitely for scrapping the gimmick match pay-per-views and just having the gimmick match whenever the hell they want, whenever it's deemed necessary as the feud goes along.
Bring back Unforgiven, bring back No Mercy, man. Bring back those classic pay-per-views.
Oh man. Well, if anything, we know that NXT will bring them back. If WWE doesn't bring them back.
Can always count on NXT, Vengeance Day.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, with that said, everybody, thank you for hanging out in chat. And if you're listening, of course, on the podcast right now, or maybe watching the video after the fact, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. As always, we appreciate it. And we'd love to hear back from you. You can DM us on Instagram, on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We are on iTunes. Like we said earlier, we are spreading our wings.
Yeah, man. Guys, if you want to listen to this after the fact, after you watch this show, listening to the game, please do, because we're not just trying to grow the YouTube channel, we want to keep our Spotify listeners as well.
Absolutely. Spotify, iTunes, however you get your podcasts. And anyway, enjoy Elimination Chamber. It's going to be a good pay-per-view. It's going to be fun. If anything, it has been an unpredictable ride towards WrestleMania. And of course, WrestleMania itself, yes, we will be doing another live stream right after WrestleMania to get all those live reactions. Ooh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man. Oh, we can't wait. We can't wait to review Elimination Chamber next week, hopefully. And if you guys have any topics that you guys want to discuss on the road to WrestleMania, I'm sure we're gonna come up with like a few interesting topics as well. Please let us know, man. We are open to all kinds of topics of the day.
Also, should we do a live stream during Revolution? After Revolut, like the AEW one? Is that something you would be interested in?
We'll put out a poll. If you guys want us to do a live stream, we'll do it. Let's put it there.
Let us know. We love that feedback. All right. I'm gonna go do things and get ready for the weekend. You're gonna go do things and get ready for the weekend. Let's go do things.
I'm gonna watch more Mortal Kombat trailers and reactions.
There's only one trailer. You're gonna watch the same trailer how many times?
A lot, bro. I've watched at least 20 times, bro.
Oh, jeez. Are you looking out for Easter eggs?
Yes, indeed, okay. I am.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, as always, it has been fun. It has been Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Enjoy your weekends.
My whole